Edgin the Bard, Holga the Barbarian, Simon the Sorcerer, and Doric the Druid join forces to defeat Forge Fitzwilliam, a traitorous lord who rose to power in Neverwinter through deceit and theft. He manipulates Edgin's daughter, Kira, by making her believe her father left her for his own gain. Meanwhile, Forge collaborates with Sophina, a red wizard who aims to enslave the city's populace as undead minions for her dark master, Belich Shastam. Welcome, one and all, to Rapid Movie Recap, the show where we condense movies so fast you'll hardly have time to process our witty recap. Now, be a good sport and hit that subscribe button, toss us a like, and ring that notification bell, because who wouldn't want a non-stop barrage of our delightful quips? And if you're in the mood for some light reading, go ahead and enable those subtitles with a quick tap on the good old CC button. But wait, there's more. Show off your impeccable taste by snagging some of our top-notch merch, available for your perusal just down below. Who doesn't love a little shameless self-promotion? The movie opens in a frozen wasteland. An orc-like creature is taken by carriage to a prison where he meets his cellmates, Bard Edgin Darvis and barbarian Holga Kilgore. When the orc tries to flirt with Holga, she swiftly breaks his knees and smashes his face. The next day, Edgin and Holga face the Absolution Council to plead their case for a pardon. Edgin shares his backstory with the council, explaining how he was part of the Harper's faction, a group of spies fighting evil. He was married to Zia and had a daughter, Kira, but tragedy struck when red wizards attacked his home and killed Zia. Struggling to provide for Kira, Edgin met Holga, who had been banished from her tribe. They turned to thievery, with Holga becoming a surrogate parent to Kira. Edgin and Holga joined forces with sorcerer Simon Almar and rogue Forge Fitzwilliam. They encountered a wizard named Sophina who asked them to rob Corrin's keep, a Harper stronghold. At first, Edgin refused, but when he learned that the keep held the tablet of reawakening, he agreed, hoping to revive Zia. Sophina's true intentions were revealed, and she trapped Edgin and Holga using a time-freezing spell. Forge escaped with the tablet, and Simon also got away. As Edgin finishes his story, a bird-like council member named Jarnathan arrives. Edgin and Holga use Jarnathan to break through a window and fly out, even though the council had granted their pardon. Now free, they decide to find Forge, retrieve the tablet, and reunite with Kira. They visit a pub, find a flyer, and learn that Forge is now the Lord of Neverwinter. Edgin and Holga travel to Neverwinter, which is bustling with preparations for the annual Heisen Games. They reunite with Kira, who is more thrilled to see Holga, whom she calls Bug, than her father, believing he abandoned her for selfish reasons. The pair meet with Forge, now the Lord of Neverwinter thanks to the riches stolen from Corrin's keep. He has also enlisted Sophina as his advisor. Edgin discovers that Forge has misled Kira about his arrest, claiming it was for stealing riches rather than the tablet of reawakening. When Edgin and Holga confront Forge, Sophina uses her magic to trap them, and they are captured by guards. Though Forge orders their imprisonment, Sophina instructs the guards to execute them. Holga fights off the guards, enabling her and Edgin to escape. They decide to plan a heist to rescue Kira from Forged Castle, but they need a team. With the upcoming Heisen Games, lords from other kingdoms will bring their wealth to Forged Vault, where the tablet is located. They can use these riches to pay their team. Edgin and Holga search for Simon, who is performing magic tricks for an audience. He uses his tricks as a distraction while casting a spell to steal the spectators' gold and trinkets. When the crowd chases him, Simon attempts to evade capture using his spells, but he nearly dies in the process. He runs into Edgin and Holga, who save him. Simon agrees to help them take down Forge, but warns them that the vault will be heavily guarded. He suggests seeking help from someone he knows. The trio sets out to find Doric, a young druid whom Simon once tried to court, but who found him unattractive. They witness a young woman about to be executed by having her limbs torn off by a horse. However, the horse is actually Doric in disguise. She morphs into her owlbear form, defeats the villains, and frees the woman. The trio approaches Doric, who distrusts humans because her family abandoned her for being a tiefling. She explains her desire to take down Forge, as he has imprisoned or killed her people for questioning his rule. She wants to fight for the other druids. In her quarters, Sophina speaks with her master, the Lich Shastam. He entrusts her with their ultimate plan, and Sophina hopes to use Forge to achieve their goal. Later, Sophina joins Forge as he meets with other lords to discuss the Heisen Games. Doric, shapeshifted into a fly, spies on the meeting. When Sophina detects her presence, Forge guards chase Doric, but she manages to escape by changing into various forms. She returns to the team and reports that Forge's vault is protected by the arcane seal of Mordenkainen. Simon doubts he's powerful enough to break the seal unless he acquires the Helmet of Disjunction, which has been missing for ages. However, Holga claims her people may know its whereabouts as they fought the cult of the dragon. The problem is they're all dead. The group visits the home of Holga's ex-husband, Marleman, so she can retrieve some essential items. Although Marleman has moved on with another barbarian woman, he wishes Holga well despite their past differences. The team arrives at a graveyard filled with the remains of warriors who fought in the Evermoors long ago. Using Simon's magic, they can temporarily revive the corpses, which can answer up to 5 questions each. After questioning multiple bodies, they learn that the Helmet of Disjunction was passed to a Thayan named Senkyendar, who vowed to keep it safe. Despite Edgin's distrust of Thayans, Simon and Doric have heard stories of Senk's heroics as a paladin, and even Holga can vouch for his deeds. The team witnesses Senk's heroism firsthand when he rescues a tiger child from a sea creature. Afterward, they ask for his help in taking down Forge. Senk recounts the history of the Red Wizards and how Shastam planned to raise an undead army by enslaving the people of the land. He wonders what Forge could gain from collaborating with the Red Wizards. Senk agrees to join the team only if Edgin promises to distribute Forge wealth among Neverwinter's people. En route to the helmet, Senk explains how he escaped the Red Wizards' influence and devoted himself to good deeds. He still bears a mark on his forehead from their spell. The group enters an underground city called the Orifice, where the helmet is located. When Simon accidentally triggers a collapsing bridge, Holga's hither-thither staff opens portals that help them cross a chasm safely. Upon reaching the helmet, the group is confronted by Thayan undead. Senk fights them, but they keep reviving. As the heroes flee, a massive dragon named Themberkad chases them, devouring the Thayans. Senk stabs the dragon in the head, but it doesn't die and traps the heroes in a water-filling cavern. Edgin devises a plan for Holga to provoke Themberkad before Simon blasts a hole in the cavern, allowing them to swim to safety. Upon reaching the shore, Senk bids the team farewell and returns home. Simon tries to attune to the Helmet of Disjunction, but is repeatedly rejected by his ancestor, Elminster Amar, who doubts Simon's capabilities. The team's morale drops, and Simon and Doric consider leaving, but Edgin keeps their spirits up. He admits that Zia's death was his fault due to stealing gold from the Red Wizards. Encouraged by Holga, the team devises a new plan to infiltrate Forge Vault using the hither-thither staff. The team sneaks into Neverwinter during the Heisen Games using a portal created by a portrait. However, the portal entrance gets blocked when the portrait falls face down. They proceed by improvising, with Simon creating a distraction using an illusion of Edgin playing a song. Inside, Holga fights guards while Simon tries again to attune to the helmet. After punching Elminster, Simon finally attunes and uses his enhanced magic to help defeat the guards. Upon reaching the vault, they find it empty, realizing Forge moved his riches elsewhere. The team, including Doric, is captured and incapacitated. Sofina tricks Edgin by posing as Kira. Forge plans to lock them up, but Edgin suggests letting them compete in the games. Sofina agrees, hoping they'll die there. As the team competes in the Colosseum, Doric reveals she saw guards moving the riches onto a boat, indicating Forge's plan to steal from the other attendees. They navigate a dangerous maze filled with creatures and traps, with Doric devising a teleportation plan to escape. The heroes reach the dock and find the boat with Forge's stolen riches. Forge tries to manipulate Kira, but Edgin explains the truth. When Forge threatens Kira, Holga throws a potato at his face, allowing Kira to escape. The heroes commandeer the boat and sail away, with Simon casting a spell to drench Forge. Kira forgives Edgin, and they reconcile. As they sail, the team sees a dark cloud forming, signifying Sofina's plan to enslave the game's attendees for the Red Wizard army. Racing back to Neverwinter, the heroes confront Sofina, who has enslaved the Neverwinter Council. Simon uses the staff to open a portal from the boat to a hot air balloon, causing the stolen riches to spill into the streets. The commotion draws the people out of the Colosseum, foiling Sofina's plan. The heroes confront the Red Wizard Sofina, who summons a stone dragon to attack them. Amidst a fierce battle, Sofina appears to freeze time, but it's revealed that Kira used an invisibility medallion and the team outsmarted her. With a magic-suppressing cuff on Sofina, Doric, in her owlbear form, defeats her. However, they discover that Holga was mortally wounded during the fight. Kira mourns for Holga, and Edgin uses the Tablet of Reawakening to revive her. The team celebrates their victory and new family bond with the citizens. Meanwhile, Sang captures the fleeing Forge. With Sofina defeated, Lord Neverember awakens and awards the heroes medals for saving Neverwinter. Forge is imprisoned and tries to appeal for a pardon with a tragic backstory, but the council is unmoved. Forge's escape attempt fails, and he crashes into a wall. During the credits, a remaining animated corpse pleads for questions so it can return to being dead. Be sure to toss some love to our creators and artists by catching the entire flick using the link down below. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to smash that like button and subscribe for more rapid movie recap, served with a side of ketchup.